You all right? Don't touch me. You need some money?
Everyone can use some money, right?
Here you go.
I forgot my manners. You got a couple $100 in there, and need that?
Please don't do anything. That's my medication.
I've traveled across the country to see my children. Each time I find one, I ask them the same question.
You happy?
On Thanksgiving Day, I prepared dinner, waiting for my 4 children to come home to eat, but they all called saying they were too busy to return, so I decided to travel across the country to see them. But I have pulmonary fibrosis, can't fly, and my body can't handle too much strain. The doctor advised against it, but I just wanted to see my family. I packed enough medication for the journey to be taken on schedule. I packed my bags and wrote each child a letter. On the train, I chatted with a stranger. I proudly told her about my 4 children. First stop, my youngest son David's apartment. I rang the doorbell for ages, but no one answered. I waited at the door for a long time, but he didn't return. I had to leave, hoping he was just swamped with work. I walked to an art gallery and saw a painting whose style felt familiar. I looked down at the signature. It was my son David's name. I remembered when he was little. David said he wanted to be a painter. Clearly, he'd made it happen. The next day, I returned to David's apartment. A neighbor helped me get inside. At David's door, I knocked for a long time, but no one answered. I kept telling myself he was just out running errands. I took out the letter I'd written and slipped it through the door crack, hoping he'd find it when he returned. The first stop of my journey left me feeling lost, but I had to keep going. Next, I was headed to visit my eldest daughter. After several days of travel, I arrived at my daughter Amy's home. My grandson was well behaved, helping me with my suitcase. She'd married a wealthy man and lived a life of luxury. She seemed surprised to see me, but her smile felt strained. I sensed she was hiding something from me. During dinner, I noticed the relationship between my son-in-law and grandson seemed rather distant. I suggested staying a few days before heading to visit my eldest son, Robert. But Amy made numerous excuses, saying she was busy. I had no choice but to leave. At the airport farewell, I handed her the letter I'd written and asked, "Are you happy?"
You happy?
Yeah, of course I am.
Seeing her joyful smile, I felt reassured and continued my journey. After many twists and turns, I finally found the band where my eldest son played. He told me he was the band's conductor. When I arrived at the rehearsal space, I discovered he wasn't the conductor. He was a drummer. The lie was exposed in that moment. I couldn't believe my son would lie to me. Watching him run toward me, I still forced a happy smile. I couldn't help asking him, "Why did you lie to me?" He said being a drummer meant less pressure and more chances to travel. Being a conductor was just bragging. I encouraged him to return to school for further studies, offering to pay for it myself to strive to become a real conductor, but he insisted his current life was what he wanted. I wanted to stay and accompany him for a few days, but he said